Hello, guys. Good evening to all of you. I hope you are at the pink of your health. Yeah, I'm also good here. Thank you so much. And we are here today to start one more chapter, one more very simple chapter. Basically, this is an extension of admission chapter, but I would say not an extension, it's an opposite chapter. In admission you have one partner coming in the business, and in the retirement there is one partner going out. So guys, today I'm going to start with the chapter retirement and that. Basically I always tell that this retirement and that chapter I do it together. I don't differentiate between these two chapters. Basically in our syllabus they have told us retirement is a different chapter, death is a different chapter, but I don't consider it to be a different one. Guys, just hear me out with this. Just a minute for this. A partner. Okay. Just hear me out for a minute. If there are three partners in a partnership firm, correct? Yeah? And from that three partners, one partner is retiring. He's going out of the business. Okay. So definitely he'll be taking away the amount of capital. He'll be taking away the amount of goodwill that he has earned and that he has worked hard for. And of course, the some revaluation profits and all. Correct? That's retirement. We are knowing that that fellow person, that partner is going out of the business. We are aware of it. He must have talked about it. He must have told us. He must have took the consent. Many things are there, so we are well aware of it. And whenever he goes away, he takes all the stuff and leaves. Now guys, the difference between retirement and death is just that, okay, in the death of a partner, in this chapter, we are unaware of the death of any partner. Nobody is aware of the death. Yeah. Do you know कि when are you gonna die? मेरे को भी नहीं पता when I'm gonna die. Correct ना? So here what happens कि we are unaware of the fact that he is going to die. And the problem is he can die any point of time in the year. He can die in the middle of the year. He can die just 1 month. The business has started and just 1 month has passed and he died. Quite possible he might die in 9 months. He might die in just a month before the year and he might die. So we are unaware of the date of death of a partner. We are unaware of the fact that when he is leaving. That's it. This is the only change. In retirement, that fellow person, whenever he's going out, so he'll be taking away the money. We know that we have to give it to him only, but when there is a death of a partner, he won't be able to, he won't take the money. We have to, but definitely there might be the successors or the hires or according to whatever the will he has, so we have to give the money to them. So the difference in the retirement and death. We are knowing that the partner is retiring, but we are not knowing when a partner is that is dead. So in retirement, you have to give the money in the hands of the retiring partner, whereas in the death of a partner, we have to give money in the hands of the heirs, HIERS, or the successors, or whatever, or it's according to the will and all. Correct? Eh? Perfect. Eh? So that's what it is. So basically, I'm not going to do two different chapters. I'm going to take this chapter as one, and I'm going to do it. And believe me guys, half of the thing that we used to do in the admission chapter, it's going to remain same in this chapter too. Let's recap about the admission chapter now. The very first thing that we studied in that was PSR, profit sharing ratio. The very first thing, profit sharing ratio. You do remember that we had a different way of calculating the PSR, profit sharing ratio. We had old ratio, we have new ratio. We used to write it in that format. We used to have common profits, LCM, this, that, and multiply and all that. And we used to get the sacrificing ratio in the admission chapter. In this chapter also, there is a change in the number of partners, so there will be a change in the profit sharing. Earlier in the admission chapter, there were two partners. One partner was coming in, so there was a change in number of partners, so there was a change in profit sharing ratio. Here also in retirement and death, there will be a change in the number of partners. Quite possible one partner is either leaving or he is dead. He is dead. So in short, he is leaving, right? So if there are three partners, one partner is dead. So can I say there will be a change in number of partners and there will be a change in the profit sharing ratio? Are we very clear with this, guys? Perfect. Now in admission chapter, we used to calculate goodwill, we used to value goodwill, and then ask the new incoming partner for that amount. So here again we are going to calculate goodwill, again we are going to value the goodwill, and now instead of any amount coming into the business for goodwill, we have to give out of our business, because one partner is going, if he is going, he's going to take the share of his goodwill. Are we very clear, guys? Pakka na? So admission, PSR is there, goodwill is there. Retirement and death, PSR is there, goodwill is there. Of course, they will operate in a very opposite manner, because in profit sharing ratio there would be a sacrificing ratio in admission, whereas in retirement, guys, hear me out very properly. In retirement, there will be a gaining ratio, and that makes perfect sense now. If there are two partners and one more partner is getting into the business, so the existing two partners will have to sacrifice some amount, whereas in retirement and death, there are three partners, one partner is leaving, so the the share that the retiring partner or the deceased partner used to get will now be divided between the two partners. So here will be gaining ratio, because two partners are gaining, right? Correct. That's the only difference. In goodwill, new money was coming into the business, but here some money will be going out of the business. So goodwill also is there. So guys, I'll write it for you. What are we going to do in this chapter? The very first one is the profit sharing ratio, the very first part. The second part that we're going to do is our goodwill. Again, I'll be dividing it into two parts. The very first one is calculation of goodwill, and the second one over here is the accounting treatment of goodwill. Correct? Profit sharing ratio, and the second one is goodwill. And in that also we have calculation of goodwill. How will the goodwill be calculated, at what amount, and all that. And the second one is accounting treatment. How are you going to treat the goodwill? Perfect. Then the third one is revaluation. We used to have it in our admission chapter. In this, it is exactly the same. Guys, see, hear me out. Whenever we are revaluing the assets, so if the asset is valued more, so it's a profit for you. So it has to be added, that amount, whatever the amount you want to increase, that has to be added to the cost of an asset, and it's a profit. So revaluation account credit side. That's what it is now. Arey yaar, we used to do it in admission, exactly the same one. See, accounting treatment will not change in this. Whenever the asset value increases, you need to add to the value of asset, plus you need to write it on the revaluation account credit side. That's the funda that you need to take care of. Perfect. The second one, reduction in the value of good of the asset, so less from asset, and revaluation account debit side, because it's a loss for you. See, the rule, that's the accounting rule, that nominal debit or expense and losses, credit on incomes and gains will not change. So revaluation is exactly same as we used to do it in our admission chapter. Exactly the same. I am not going to revise that. I'll give you the format. I'll write it for you. Definitely, no question on that. But we are going to do it in detail. In fact, I'm going to ask you the questions and you have to answer me. You don't answer me, I'm not going ahead. Yeah, I'm serious about it. You just type fatafat and just let me know about it. Correct? Okay. Revaluation account. The next one that we have, the next one and the last one that we had, is our capital adjustment. In this also we have a capital adjustment. Yeah, but the difference here is just that, okay, we used to take the base of the new partner. You remember that chapter, right? Guys, I hope you have practiced this chapter a lot, because I've done way too more questions in of any chapter than of admission. Because I knew that if I put in a lot of more, I put in more efforts in admission to retirement, and there will be a cake piece for you. Just you need to pick up and eat it. So we have done a lot many questions of admission. So what funda was there in capital adjustment was that a new partner's amount of goodwill, the new partner's capital was taken as a base, and then the other existing partners' share of the capital, others partners' capital contribution, that was adjusted on the basis of the capital introduced by the new partner. It's a little uh, difficult to digest as we are just speaking, but when we used to do the questions, it was very simple. I had given you a format that new ratio and new capital required, and we used to cross multiply and get the answer. And in that also, if you were following mine PSR wala method, it was very simple. If you used to do by that ratio and fractions one, so it was a bit little trickier, and a lot of mathematics included, like how to do this, the LCM, take an LCM, it's not dividing this and that, and lot many problems here. But if you follow the PSR method of mine, it was very very smooth. Correct hai? Are we very clear with this, guys? Perfect, na? Okay, chalo. So that's capital adjustment, and then we are done. So basically, acha, I was talking to you about capital adjustment. In capital adjustment, you'll be given a capital. You'll be given that the required new capital of the business should be this, and you need to just divide between the profit sharing ratio. That's it. There are no more questions upon capital adjustment as of now, but we have a couple in our syllabus, so we'll just cover it up. My main focus will be on PSR and goodwill, and I'll give you a format for that also that we are going to do today. And retire and revaluation is exactly the same. The other difference that we have in the admission chapter, one partner was getting money into the business, whereas in retirement we have to give money from our business. In admission there was an inflow of cash, whereas in retirement there will be an outflow of cash. That means we have to pay money from our pocket to the new partner. But see, we know that cash is a very important, uh, you know uh, very important in our business. If there is a cash crisis, or there is an because a partner is taking his capital, so it's not a very small amount. We're not paying a creditor, we are paying a partner, so his contribution would be, you know very material to the business. Material in the sense will be very will leave an impact if we give him the money. So definitely there will be a shortage, right? So what we do generally, we don't pay off the amount of capital at one shot. We pay out in bits and parts. Like, if we give half of the amount, we say, okay, just keep calm for a couple of months, we'll just settle your claims, or whatever the agreement is. Of course, in some questions they ask you to charge interest also, but definitely it will not be affecting our calculations, because we are just doing the retirement. We're not doing retirement after 2 or 3 months or the journal entries for that. So basically the point of discussion over here is, we'll just transfer the amount of the outgoing partner, the retired one or the deceased one. Deceased, DECEASED. That means when anyone is dead, so we say deceased. Correct? Yeah, I'm not talking about that disease, corona wala disease, right? Okay. So we might pay him in cash if we are at a very good position, you know. And if we are not in that good position, so what we would be doing is, we are going to give it him in uh, little cash, and then promise him to pay at after this duration. And till then, if he wants, he can charge interest on that. Generally, some of the partners don't charge interest, but there have been some nalike qualities like us. We want money, apna sapna, money, right? In that manner, so they might charge interest also, but definitely that will not affect, right? So can we start with this, guys? So I'll take one by one. I have to study 4 things in this chapter, and then we're gonna start with the practical questions. I'm not gonna start with the practical question today. I'm gonna do the basics one. And guys, I am not going to keep this video active live, or I'm not going to keep it for a longer time. I'm going to make it private, so you need to like view it a couple of times if you're not sure about that concept, and write it. I'm not making everything available on YouTube now. Correct? You don't attend the lectures and all, and then afterwards you keep on piling up that lectures, and then at one point of time a lot many lectures are pending, and then you lose interest, and then it is gone. And whatever I'm doing today, you have to send me the written notes, the pictures. Correct? So can I start with this, guys? Chalo. In the very first thing, in this chapter we have only two cases. The very first one for profit sharing ratio, PSR. This is applicable for retirement as well as death, right? Case one, when only old ratio is given. When only old ratio is given in the question. So what are you going to do with this? We have old ratio, guys. Let's say old ratio is 3:2:1 for the partners A, B, and C, and they are saying nothing about the question now. That's it. That's all information is there in the question. This is not TSR, it's PSR. Okay. Uh, you are asked to find out what is the gain ratio, and you are asked to find out what is the new ratio. Correct? Basically, new ratio is what is more important. Gain ratio, that's okay. Uh, Generally, guys, I'll be doing that in detail when I'll be doing your goodwill part. So they will not be asking you more about the amount of goodwill is given in cash, because what we do, see, just get this picture in your head. There are three partners A, B, and C. Achha, let's we three be you, me, and your best friend. We three are in a partnership. Correct? Now, and now we are very good friends. You were the best friends, but I got into the business, and now we three are the three musketeers, and we are the bestest friends, and we are doing a business also. Okay. Due to certain reasons, some reasons, one partner, let me leave the partnership. I am leaving the partnership firm. A, B, and C. I am the third partner, C. Okay. I am leaving the business. So definitely I'll be asking you for my share of goodwill, my capital contribution, my revaluation profit, if any, and all that. So I'll not be taking the amounts in bits and parts. Now I'll tell you, see, my capital contribution is this much, my goodwill amount is this much, my revaluation profit is this much. So the total amount is this. So give me the amount. That's it. I am not coming to you and asking, okay, give me my capital amount, and then go back home and again come a day after and tell you that give me my goodwill amount, and then after again a day after I'll come to you and tell you that give me your revaluation profit amount or whatever the thing is. I'm not going to do that, right? And I'll tell you, see, you calculate each and every, you do your calculations and let me know that what is my last share that I should get. I'll run through it, and if it is feasible, definitely we'll go ahead with it. Perfect. So here also, generally, we don't have a case whereby the amount of goodwill is given in cash. Instead, what we do is pass just one entry. That's adjusting entry. That I'm gonna do it in detail for the goodwill, right? But now here more concentration will be on the new ratio. Perfect. Chalo. So here what are we going to do? Now hear me very properly. See, there is no working note required to make for this case. Have a look at this. Now how am I doing it? We have partner A, partner B, partner C. This is the old ratio. Say no, not say 3, 2, and 1. Now we need to find out what is the new ratio. Correct? and the third partner is getting in, sorry, the third partner is getting out of the business. So what I'll be doing, I'll be putting a cross over here in the new ratio. I don't have to give the money to him now. Correct. So the ratio was 3 is to 2 is to 1. If the third partner is going, if I just erase this just for a second, this is no longer a partner. Chalo, you now go. What is remaining? 3 and 2. Am I correct? So the new ratio will be 3 and 2. And the partner who is going out of the business will not get any amount. So my new ratio will be 3 and 2. Do you understand this? That's how the calculation of goodwill. That's how the calculation of PSR will be. While, while there is no information given to you except your old ratio. Do you get this? Any problem in this? So my new ratio will be 3 to 2. Now, guys, if I ask you, there are three partners. Question number 2. My old ratio is 1 is to 4 is to 3, and B died. This is A, B, and C. So my old ratio is 1 is to 4 is to 3. So my new ratio will be, I am not gonna give any amount to the second partner here. So my new ratio will be 1 is to 3. Clear? That's how the very first case would be. Are we understanding it, guys? Paka. Sure, no? Sure. Now I'll directly come to the case 2. This case 1 is very simple. Case 2 is a little calculative. In this case, old ratio and new ratio is given to you. In this, old ratio and new ratio is given to you. Let me take a couple of questions and then you'll be a master of this also. Question number 1. For this case, old ratio is 3 is to 2 is to 1, and the new ratio is given to be, say, equal 1 is to 1. Old ratio is 3 is to 2 is to 1, and new ratio is 1 is to 1. So now can I say they are asking me what is my gain ratio? Quite possible. So how are you going to do the calculation? See, guys, if in the question, hear me out very properly, if in the question they are not, they are not dividing the amount of goodwill in the gain ratio now, don't calculate it. See, revaluation profit will be divided in the old ratio. New ratio is required for capital adjustment, so there is no need for you to find out the gain ratio. You're not understanding it. When we did admission chapter, so old ratio, the profit was divided between the old partners in the old ratio. Correct, na? And for the capital adjustment, we used to take into consideration the new ratio. New profit sharing ratio, new capital required, and used to cross multiply. So we don't require the gain ratio in this question if there is no adjustment for goodwill. So we can skip this PSR part. But as of now, let's say we have some calculations. So we are going to use it. Perfect. Eh? Okay. So here, um, it will be solution. Old ratio is 3 is to 2 is to 1. That's the denominator over here will be 6 if I'm not wrong. And my new ratio will be, no, is 1 is to 1. So my denominator will be 2 over here. I'll multiply this both. I'll get the amount as 12. This is mine. Common profit. This will be mine. common profit, and I'm going to divide this common profit between these three partners. Have a look. Acha, I haven't told you which partner died. Let's say B died, and let's kill this B only. Okay, B died, and guys, hear me out very properly. Here in the retirement chapter, death chapter, I am going to write first the new ratio. I'll tell you the reason, but remember, as of now, that firstly we are going to take what, the new ratio and then the old ratio, and if I'm going to subtract this, I'll be having the gain ratio. Now B died, so can I say in the first column B is not going to get anything from the business, so cross over here. The very first thing, old ratio is 3 is to 2 is to 1, so 12 will be divided between 3, 2 and 1. So guys, can I say this 12 will be divided by 6 is 2, 2 3s are 6, and sorry, and it will be in the old ratio, 6, 4 and 2. I'm just dividing this 12 in 3 is to 2 is to 1. You can do it separately by 12 multiplied by 3 upon 6, 12 multiplied by 2 upon 6, 12 multiplied by 1 upon 6. Correct? So you'll get the answer is 6, 4 and 2. And they're telling me that the new ratio is equal. So guys, this 12 will be divided as 6 and 6. Are we understanding it? And guys, can you just look at this? It's a very simple one. A used to get to 6 rupees in the past. After the retirement of the or the death of a partner, he's still receiving 6. A is telling me I am not going to sacrifice, guys, nor I'm going to take any amount. A is neutral over here. A tells me that I don't want any extra penny. I'll not sacrifice. I am staying at 6 only. He's getting the 50%. And what is happening over here? The amount, can I say this 4 rupees is been taken up fully by the third partner, which initially was taken by the second partner. Means after the death of B, C is taking full amount of profit which was of the second partner. C is taking the profit, sorry. So there will be no ratio over here. But whenever you're going to calculate the goodwill amount, now the goodwill amount will be borne, the amount of goodwill will totally and fully given by C to B. Correct? Are we very clear, guys? Too good, yeah. So it's exactly the same which that we used to do in our previous questions. Let's take one more question over here. Old ratio is given to you as the second question in this. Old ratio is, say for example, 3 is to 2 is to 2, and here I am saying the new ratio is 3 is to 3, or else let's take 1 is to 1 here, 1 is to 1. And now have a look at this. How am I going to do this? I am saying that B died. Again the same thing, guys. I am going to find out the gain ratio. How is that going to go? So the solution here, old ratio is 3 is to 2 is to 2. That is going to be here the denominator as 10, and my new ratio is 1 is to 1, so that is going to be 2. So multiply, I'm going to get 20, and this 20 will be divided between A, B and C as between old partner and new partner. So firstly in this chapter I am going to write new ratio first, then the old ratio, and then what I'm going to get will be mine sacrifice, will be mine gaining. See, we are habituated to write that now, but you need to remember, examination we don't make a mistake in this. So now B is dead, so the profit will not be now credited to his account, so nothing over here. Earlier, this 20 rupees was divided between old partners in the ratio of 3 is to 2 is to 2. So 20 divided by 10 is 2. 2 3s are 6. This will be 20 divided by 10. So 2 rupees. 2 3s are 6. 2 2s are 4. This is 10, right? This is not 10. This is something else. 3 plus 2, 5, 6, 7. This is 7, not the 14. So 14 will be divided. Calculation error. So 14 divided by 2, 14 divided by 7 is 2. 2 3s are 6, 2 2s are 4, and 2 2s are 4. So it is 14, right? 6 plus 4 plus 4. And now the new ratio is equal. So guys, 7 and 7. Are we understanding it? So here the gain ratio will be 1 for the first partner and 3 for the second partner, and this 1 and 3 rupees is been taken by first and third partner out of the share of the second partner. So whenever the goodwill amount will be divided, three parts will be given from the C's share, and means will be contributed by C, and one part will be contributed by A. Are we very clear with this, guys? Pokka. Sure, na? Wonderful, guys. The second one is you have to write this. So I'll just give you a screenshot. No, you're not going to take the screenshot. You're going to write it. See, this is the first one, part one. You'll just pause the video and write it right now. You are not going to take a screenshot because you don't write it. And I want this snaps. You take the picture and send me right away. Okay. And this is case 2. This one. Just pause it and note it down. Correct. The third one that we are going to have, the second one that we're going to do here is the amount of goodwill. Guys, the calculation of goodwill is exactly the same that we have done in our admission chapter. You can refer that. I'll put the link in the description of that goodwill calculation. What I'll be focusing here is accounting treatment. The accounting treatment. Simple. The amount of goodwill will never be taken in cash. It will never be taken in cash. But if there is any question in theory or something, MCQs in your this examination and all, or in fill in the blank, so you should know about it. So if the amount is taken in cash, so guys, it will the in cash. So the amount will be the individual amount or the amount of the outgoing partner. The ratio will always be the gain ratio, exactly same. Gain ratio. And the third one is the journal entry. Guys, the journal entry is very simple. The amount is going out of the business, so cash and bank credit side, and the new partner has to bear the amount. So partner's capital account debit. So guys, I'm writing a gaining partner capital debit. Gaining partner capital account debit. Gaining partner capital account debit to cash and bank account. Are we clear with this? Correct. See, this is generally not asked, right? What is generally asked is raise and write off when the amount of goodwill is not bought in cash. Okay, so here you have to raise the amount of goodwill and then you have to write it off. So guys, the entry will be exactly same as we did in our admission chapter. You just need to write it down. You just need to keep in mind. It's not that difficult. We're going to raise it in the old ratio, the goodwill account debit to all the three partners. Let me take three partners. To old partner capital. Maximum question is 3 partners in our syllabus also, but there can be 4 partners too. I have put one question in my notes for our practice where 4 partners are there and 3 part and one is going out of the business, so 3 remains. So we'll do that question also. The very first one, this is the raise one and the write off one. Guys, it's exactly the same that we did in our admission chapter. Write off. So the entry will be old partner capital account debit Basically it's not the old partner, it's the new partner, because writing after I when you write off, it will be in the new ratio. So new partner, capital account debit. Guys, this sounds a little weird that how can that be old and new? It will be existing partner. But for us to understand, we'll write new partner, correct, to goodwill account, and that will be in the new ratio. Perfect. Yeah? So you need to write this, and I wanted to write this on a fresh page, put star marks, and as I told you that for each and every chapter I want you to make 100 pages book, and in the initial pages, in the very first 2 or 3 pages where I'm going to give you all that basics, so that you're going to copy, so that when you solve a couple of chapters, when you solve the chapters of when you solve the chapter that's solved examples and unsolved examples and all, so if there is any difficulty, if there is any difficulty, guys, so you can just refer that, go to the first page, look at it, revise it, and again come back to the question, and it will be very simple for you. So that's what I have suggested you. I have no idea how much you follow the technique, but maximum are doing it. Okay, so guys, revaluation is simple as the last time, so I'll put the link in description about the revaluation. And the capital adjustment, I'm not gonna do any basics of that. Whenever the question comes, I'm gonna teach you over there. Okay, so guys, that's it from my side for today. uh, we had discussed about what is retirement and death, of course, and the two important parameters, that's um, profit sharing ratio and goodwill. Calculation is exactly the same that we have done in our admission chapter, and the accounting treatment is this. Correct? Too good. Too good. So I'll take your leave, guys. Goodbye and take care. And if you have any doubts, guys, you can write it on the comment section, or you can just WhatsApp me. The number is running here continuously on the ticker. Okay? Chalo. Bye bye and take care, guys.